Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening. Hey, everybody. Marcus C. Williams here. And I gotta tell you, some crazy stuff just happened tonight at City Council. I didn't have the opportunity to be there in person. I didn't know this was going on. I had another meeting this evening, so I couldn't be there at the time. But essentially, I need to get this out of the way before we even go too far. You guys, tonight, I'm going to give you this video, and I'm not sure how many people are going to agree with me or how many people aren't going to agree with me, but I got to be honest. There is a lot of stuff that's going on in our city that is absolutely not okay. The prioritization of certain small groups over the every citizen, you know what I'm saying, over the everyday citizen is not okay, and I'm not with it, and I'm not going to just let it go and act and pretend as if it's okay or if it's not something that's going on. So with that, I say this, you know, how can I phrase it? Okay, let's see. I'd say it like this. So here's my thing. Let me start off with this, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts together because I'm just so appalled at what happened on City Council tonight. So City Council, let me say it like this, okay. Ahead of time, okay, if somebody feels some type of way about what I'm going to say, that's on you, okay? I'm coming with straight the way that it is, what it is. If you don't like it, that's your own prerogative, okay? So boom. So I am a constitutionalist. I believe very much so in equal rights, okay? And if you guys know me, I believe equal rights, equal fights. You understand what I'm saying? So as we have this conversation about City Council, what they did tonight was extremely unconstitutional. It goes against the federal constitution and it goes against the state constitution, okay? What they have done is they have pulled back equal rights provisions and they have empowered small individual groups of individuals above the everyday citizen. And that's not okay. That's unconstitutional, both by the state and the federal constitution. They're trying to say, oh, well, no, it's not that serious. It doesn't violate the federal laws because it doesn't supersede those laws or whatever. No. The fact that you are saying this outside of your mouth and putting this into the policy that is the policy of our city thereby makes it legislation and thereby makes it illegal. Now, let me jump into this real quick with you, okay? So essentially what they have done in summary is they have empowered illegal aliens and alphabet people with more rights than the everyday citizen. And that's not okay with me. That's the LGBTQIA 2 plus squared, whatever the rest of the letters are now, okay? Because they way far out there now with all the letters and numbers. There's numbers too, if y'all don't know. Go look up two spirits. That's crazy. Okay, but that's besides the point. So this was a policy that they put in place today to so-called strengthen the sanctuary city regulations that we have in the city of Rochester, which those are already unconstitutional to begin with. So this is a whole nother extra layer of ridiculousness that they've added to this stuff. So first of all, we have an issue when it comes to the fact that if we're all citizens and we're all supposed to have the, hey guys, I see you guys watching, I see you guys saying, hey, if we're all citizens and we're all supposed to be equal, right? That means no one group, no one segment of people have more rights than everybody else. That's the way it works, right? Equal rights, right? But on City Council, clearly they are putting in special provisions to make illegal aliens their own protected class. Now, illegal aliens are not entitled to the same rights as legal immigrants, refugees, or American citizens. Okay? That is a straight fact. Okay? Anybody can try to dismiss that or dispute it if they want to. You're wrong. Straight like that. You're wrong. Okay? Our laws apply to citizens, and then we have other laws that apply to immigrants who went through the right processes, and we have other laws that apply to refugees, okay? They are not all the same. Now, they've also applied additional protections to alphabet people, okay? Above and beyond. Now, if you read our state constitution and our federal constitution, both of them actually have protections in there for all types of stuff, you know. In our state constitution, we actually just had an amendment added into the state constitution to protect gender identity and all types of other crazy stuff and things like that. And that is its own serious problem. It was called Prop 1. Go look that up. Okay, that happened last year, and it allows all types of crazy perversion to be pushed and propagated and codified in law. Again, there's many constitutional issues with that, but that's neither here nor there. This is the fact, okay? They're out here saying, okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to start with the immigration things, and I'm going to give you a summary because the complete text of the bill is not available at this time, and I really would like to read it verbatim to you. So, in summary, what it says on the immigration protections is employees and contractors of the city are prohibited from denying based on immigration status. Rochester Police Department cannot interfere with, as officers of the department, cannot question, detain, or arrest individuals solely based on immigration status or engage in actions strictly related to federal immigration enforcement. City resources cannot be used to assist federal immigration efforts except where law requires. Now that's fine, right? Like, I don't agree with that at all, right? But if you're going to put that in place, okay, and I don't care if anybody don't like it, if you're going to put that in place, you can hold these criminals that are out here causing crazy chaos in our streets running amok, okay? If you're going to say, oh, we can put in all these special protections that clearly violate the law, okay? If we can put in all these special protections for illegal aliens, where are the protections for our citizens? Where are the protections for the actual people that are struggling with the impact of crime every single day? We're suffering from criminal terrorism in our city right now. We're suffering from criminal terrorism, and they dare to put this extra stuff in these so-called provisions in our city. But you mean to tell me that you can't hold criminals, that you won't hold people that beat their girlfriends bloody, then get out of jail and murder their girlfriends? Like, you won't hold those people, but you'll put in policies that prevent illegal aliens who have already violated the law, breaking the law, coming into our country, okay, and a number of other laws based on that situation. Like, you're gonna put this in, which is clearly a violation of law, okay? So you won't put in any actual protections for citizens and victims? Like, make it make sense to me. It's so clear that city council does not care about you, that you don't matter to city council. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's beyond me. It's so upsetting, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating, you guys. I'm running for city council this year, and I'm standing by every single thing that I say on this video, so I don't care who feels some type of way. If you can put these protections in for illegal aliens, where are the protections for everyday citizens? Let me ask you a better question. I'm a black American. I am a black man. Where are the protections for me, a black man? Full stop. Where are the protection for the Puerto Ricans in this legislation? I don't see any protections for Puerto Ricans in this legislation. Where is the protection for Puerto Ricans? Hello? You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is a situation that we're dealing with where it's clear that our city council doesn't give a flying monkey's uncle about us. Now, this is just with the provisions in relation to the illegal aliens, right? Let's go into the provisions with the LGBT alphabet protections, okay? Let's go into those provisions, because this is where we really start seeing some nonsense, and you can see that they only care about specific individualistic groups, okay, and the nonprofits that are pushing this nonsense than they do about our everyday citizens. And understand that I am not singling these people out, because it doesn't matter to me. Whatever you do in the confines of your home or whatever, okay, that's between you and God. And if you're going to hell, I pray that you repent and you turn away from your proclivities. I understand that the struggle might be hard because everybody has different proclivities, and I understand that, okay? It's not that I'm not sympathetic for that. I understand denying the flesh is very serious, okay? I understand that it can be very, very hard and difficult to deny the flesh, and each one of us have our own proclivities that we have to battle. Some people it's gambling, some people it's alcohol, some people it's same-sex attraction. So I understand that, right? And if you do whatever you do in your bedroom, that's fine. You've already got equal rights, right? But this isn't about equal rights. This is about superior rights. This is about giving people more rights than other people. Check this out, okay? And again, this isn't the full text because the full text isn't on the city website yet, but this is the gist of what it is. Okay, new safeguards to prevent so-called discrimination in sports based on gender identity. What is gender identity? Explain it to me, okay? Because if it says that these are LGBTQIA provisions, where is it for people that identify as animals, right? What do they call that? Whatever it is, okay? No, not zoophilia. That's something else, you guys. It's something completely different. But they into that too, some of them. It's really getting to be problematic, all of the different letters that they're adding on there. But it's a serious issue because what is gender identity? Who defines what gender identity is? Because it's completely gone past just saying, oh, I'm a man or I'm a woman. Now it's, oh, I'm both at the same time and all types of other stuff. Okay? What even is that, right? Like, how do you decide on which facilities are for somebody that identifies as nothing? Okay? Like, these are very serious, problematic issues, and it makes more problems than they have any solutions. And it's going to open the city up to aggressive lawsuits, okay? Because it also allows them to use bathrooms that they identify as. So if I'm a grown 270-pound, 6'5" man, okay, I can go into a bathroom in the city of Rochester now with little 6-year-old girls. Full man, but I identify 6'7" and I identify as a woman. I can go into a bathroom with a 6-year-old girl. Do you think that that is okay? How is this okay? Now, as far as I know, and this is, again, I need the complete information on this. I'm waiting for them to upload the actual bill. As far as I know, this was voted on unanimously, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to check it, because if that's the case, there are a couple of these people on here that swear to goodness they're Christians, and if I find out that these so-called Christians voted for this perversion, I'm sorry, I can't promise you guys that I'm going to have many friends left in the universe, okay, because I'm going to flip all the way out. Okay, because when Christians go and say, oh, well, we support this type of nonsense and shenanigans, it's a very serious problem because it goes against biblical scripture. Okay, now I'm going to continue. Okay, so aside from grown men, okay, full men that so-called say that they're women, right? Because who can deny or say what your gender identity is, right? I could identify as a snowflake tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? I could identify as a 10-foot tall purple platypus bear. You understand what I'm saying? Like, where does it stop? Okay? These are serious, serious issues. This is very, very, very serious issues. Now, let's go into the next part. So it says that it prevents the medical, I guess I'm going to say this because it's very, from what I gather, it's a little weird the way that it's phrased. Essentially, it'll allow them to gender transition children, okay? Gender transition children, and it prevents them from denying abortions to people. We already have abortion codified in the New York state law. What are you even doing? You understand what I'm saying? So what is it? So that is completely invalid, and you can't put that there because it goes, it's already in state law, so you can't put that there. That's not how laws work, okay? But the fact that you're saying that in our city policy, that you can perform genital mutilation on small children, that is completely unacceptable. Genital mutilation on small children, this is what we're supposed to be doing right now. This is very serious. This is very, very, very serious. And it's unacceptable. I don't believe in genital mutilation of children. I don't. So you're out here saying that, oh, well, people should be able to cut off their children's, what would you call them, private parts, okay, and wedding tackle, and their children's, what you call them, mammary glands and stuff like that off of children? Please, God, I pray that this information is wrong and it wasn't a 9-0 vote. Because if it is, it's going to be a very big problem, okay? Because I'm not going to let this go, okay? Because you don't say that that's okay and then call yourself Christian, okay? Because I'm so sick of these fake Christians calling themselves Christian, and then they're not Christian, and they support nonsense like this, which goes specifically against the Bible, okay? You want to make it okay for them to try to mutilate little boys and tell the little boys that they're girls? What is going on here? You're trying to say that our city believes that it's okay. You don't speak for me. You don't speak for the majority of citizens. And that is the very big issue that I'm trying to explain to y'all tonight. These people do not speak for us. Okay, they try to pretend like they're speaking for us, but they continue to do a disservice to our citizens. They do not represent us. And this is why I'm running for city council. And again, I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. Okay, you can kick whole rocks. Okay? If you support elevating somebody else's rights over other individuals, that's problematic. Specialized individual rights for individual groups is problematic. Like I said before, there are no specialized rights in there for black men. There are no specialized rights in there for Puerto Ricans. Where are our protections? You understand? Where is that for us? It doesn't exist. So that's telling me, as a black man, that I'm not as important to them as illegal aliens or alphabet people. I thought the Democrats cared about black people. At least that's what they tell me. It's very clear that they don't care about us. Okay? Then, on top of all of that, they're talking about, let me continue here. Let me continue here. So, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a little bit testy about this whole situation, because when they say that they are speaking for us as a city, they are full of malarkey, okay? I want the black people in this city to find out what the flying monkey uncle that they just said. But most of them don't know what they just said. Because if most of the black people found this out, if most of the Puerto Ricans found this out, they'd be up in arms. Are you serious to me? Are you serious to me right now? You want to give them special protections? There are no special protections for us. Now, check this out. I'm going to continue. Okay. No city employee, police officer, or contractor shall deny services, benefits, or opportunities based on a person's sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. Is that not already a law? Like, what are we doing? You understand what I'm saying? What are we doing here? What are we actually doing? Okay? You're messaging to these very small, independent groups of individuals that you prioritize them over all the rest of us. And this is very problematic, and this is where the issue comes in. This is where the issue comes in. You got to understand that that part right there is my biggest issue with all of this. Let's continue. They are ensuring that people could have gender-affirming care and gender mutilate children. That's what they're affirming. Oh, and you can kill all your babies according to them. They want you to be able to murder your babies. That's what they're saying. It's okay. Now, apparently that's okay. So if they want you to be able to murder your babies, why not be able to murder people in the streets, right? What is the difference between a baby and somebody that's out in the street? This shows that they don't value life at all. And again, I swear to goodness, if I find out that this is actually 9-0, okay, like it says that it is right here, it freaking better not be, bro. Because there are people on there that call themselves Christians that voted for this. Let me continue. Okay. It requires that public restrooms, locker rooms, okay, and facilities in the city buildings be accessible to anybody by their gender identity. Okay? Again, that allows grown men that look like full-grown men, okay, that have all their wedding tackle and everything, to go into bathrooms with little girls. Is that okay to you? It's not okay to me. It's absolutely unacceptable. And the fact that they're going to tell us that that's okay and that's what the city stands for, that's what we stand for as a city. We want men to use the same bathroom as little girls because they say that they're a woman, or maybe they say that they're a little girl. And they're a 276'7" man. Come on now. Local businesses contracting with the city must comply to these specific non-discrimination laws. Excuse me, I just read this, and it doesn't say anything about race in there at all. It doesn't say anything about ethnicity in there at all. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not for all of us. It's for just a very small demographic. And that is a very, very, very serious issue. That is the issue, you guys. It's not for everybody. This does not cover everybody. As a matter of fact, it is purposefully made to exclude others that are not alphabet people, to exclude others that are not illegal aliens. You understand what I'm saying? Let me continue. Violation of this ordinance for city employees or contractors shall be deemed unlawful and subject to disciplinary action by the city administration and including termination. Now, there's a word here. It's very important. Unlawful. That word unlawful is very important. That means that they are saying that this is a law. Okay? But we already have state laws that protect against this. So if you're saying that this is what you're doing, you're saying that you can make your own laws and your own protections. Cool. If you can do that, protect our citizens from these criminals that are out here running amok. Lock up these criminals, okay? Stop these criminals from being let out every single day. They out here raping and pillaging, and you let them right back out the same day. Where are the laws that you're putting in for that? This is completely unacceptable on every single level. I'm not about to let this stuff go. And I promise you, bro, I promise you, if I find out that this is really 920, it's going to be a big problem. A big problem. Because there are people on here that call themselves Christians. See, I don't care about all the rest of it. If you don't consider yourself Christian, that's fine. You vote for nonsense and you go to hell. That's what it is. Okay? You promote sin and you go to hell. Okay? That's what it is. Okay? That's what you believe. That's fine. But when you call yourself Christian and you're voting for stuff like this that goes specifically against Christian biblical values. I'm not talking about tradition. I'm not talking about the church fathers. I'm talking about goes against biblical scripture. Okay? That is problematic. That is aggressively problematic. Now, this whole situation right here, and I need you guys to understand this. The issue that I have that is of the greatest amount of ferocity in this situation is the fact that it is an exclusionary protection. Okay, specifically for alphabet people. Let me say that again. This is an exclusionary protection for alphabet people, elevating them above everybody else. It did not say that it also includes race or ethnicity or actual gender. It only says gender identity and alphabet people. I need you to understand. I need you to hear with your ears, okay, and hear with your mind. I need you to hear what is being said by these people. This is very, very, very discriminatory. The problem with this law that they are putting, policy that they're saying is a law, that they're putting in place is that it is discriminatory in and on its face. Okay? On its face, it's discriminatory because it says it's specifically for alphabet people. It says it's specifically for gender identity. You cannot do that. That is a violation of our state constitution. And I'll tell you why I know that for 100% fact, because I was just fighting against Prop 1, which is a crazy thing in and of itself. Prop 1 passed, okay? Prop 1 passed. So by the standards of Prop 1, this right here is unconstitutional on the state level. I pushed against that law. I pushed against it being an amendment to the Constitution, okay? So I'm telling you, based on that amendment to the Constitution that they made last year, this right here on its face, ipso facto, is unconstitutional by the state constitution. Not even to mention the federal constitution, because you're putting in exclusionary protections. And they say, oh, well, it's for special groups. Wait a second. Who defines what special groups are? Protected groups, protected classes. Who defines what that is? Because gender identity isn't a protected class because it's not a real thing. I said exactly what I said. Gender identity is not a real thing. Okay? Is it water or is it not? Okay? Don't tell me that vodka is water, okay, or water is vodka, and you drink it and it's full of alcohol. It's clearly vodka, not water. You understand what I'm saying? Don't tell me that Kool-Aid that's red is water. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and it tastes like Kool-Aid. Don't play with me in my face, okay? Don't tell me that somebody with wedding tackle is a female. You understand what I'm saying? These are serious, serious issues. How is gender identity something that you think in your head and can change on a daily basis, something that can be a protected class? If you're saying that mental disorders are a protected class, then maybe it could fall underneath that category. But gender identity is nothing, okay, but a mental situation, okay? It's not physical, okay? It's not physical. That's why it's an identity, okay? Like I said, I'm a black man. There are no protections in here for black men. There are no protections in here for Puerto Ricans, okay? They only got protections for alphabet people. And really, if you read this thing, it's not even protections for all alphabet people. It's only the alphabet people that believe that they are different genders, which is even more crazy, bro. So if you're really like a homosexual, this doesn't even have protections for you. So this is kind of crazy the way that it's worded. And I just want to point that out too. I think that's one of the biggest things right here, because it only says gender identity. Like these are important facts, you guys. These are important things. And we have to talk about these things, because nobody else is going to talk about it. Nobody else is going to hold them accountable. It's going to be a little blurb in a newspaper. Somebody's going to say something, and then nobody's going to talk about it anymore. I'm going to bang this daggone drum so hard, okay? If I didn't have stuff to do tomorrow, man, you know how many emails I'd be sending out to everybody from here, from local government to federal government about this, okay? I'd be daggone called the ACLU on this piece. This is serious. This is absolutely serious. And this is why I'm running for city council. Because this is unacceptable. This is discrimination. Like, you're discriminating against me as a black man. You're discriminating against me as a black American. How you going to do that? How you going to do that? You putting and elevating these people above me. So if there's protection for gender identity, okay, which isn't even a real thing, it's a mental cognition projection of what you view yourself as. Maybe I view myself as a white man. Okay? Is that a thing? Maybe I view myself as, I don't know, I mean, as a baby. Maybe I should be able to, get special protections as a infant. Like, what is it? Like, where does this stuff stop? Because if you're going to tell me as a black man, I'm not covered by these same protections, that's discriminatory. If you're going to tell me, okay, well, we're going to protect these people, but we're not protecting those people under the same circumstances, that's problematic. That's problematic. And then you're going to tell me that you're speaking for me. because this is what they said, and I don't think that this, and I need you guys to listen with your ears and hear with your ears and hear with your mind. These people are saying this is what our city believes, bro. No, our city does not believe this nonsense. Our city does not believe in genital mutilation of prepubescent children. Our city doesn't believe in that. We don't believe in that. You can't get up there and be my representative and tell me that that's what we believe in. I will not participate in your psychosis. Okay? I will not participate in your encouraging of sin. I will not. I'm not about to sit here and do it. Okay? I will not participate in your unconstitutional actions and policies and legislation. I will not. I am a citizen just as much as all these alphabet people are, and more than these illegal aliens are, and you're protecting them, but you're not protecting me. Like I said, let's go back to these illegal aliens for a minute, because this is important, okay? They're saying that, oh, nobody in the city can do anything about the illegal aliens. Okay, cool. So tell me that nobody in the city, okay, can do anything about me defending my property if somebody says that they want my stuff, okay? Because I want stand your ground laws with all these criminals running around out here, because it's a couple of them that I don't believe should still be breathing if they step. You understand what I'm saying? Like, is that a law that you're going to put in place for me? Is that a protection that you're going to put in place for me? Because I want to protect my family. I want to protect my property. I want to protect myself. You're going to put that in place for me? Okay? Like, this is serious. Like, this is very, very serious. You understand what I'm saying? And I see you guys commenting. I'm sorry I'm not mentioning all the comments as they're coming in. Okay? Please donate to my campaign. You can do it online. Okay? You can go to Marcus4Rochester.com. That's Marcus4Rochester.com. Okay? And click the donate button. Go there. Donate to my campaign. You don't got to be local to donate, because this is beyond insane. And if we do not do it, nobody else is going to make the difference. So I encourage you also, if you're local or if you're not local, share my videos, share my posts, because we got to get this message out there that somebody actually cares about us, because it's clear that we do not matter to city council. They are more concerned with apparently not even alphabet people. Like, I wanted to say alphabet people because that's what they say, that it's alphabet people. But very clearly, after reading what they're talking about, they're not talking about just alphabet people. They're not talking about homosexuals. They're talking about these gender bender people that have this concept that they want to force other people into their psychosis to say that a boy is a girl and a girl is a boy, and to genital mutilate children, and on top of that, to murder babies. And then we wonder why there's so much violence in our streets, because clearly our city council has just codified into law that they do not believe in the sanctity of human life. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all drink water, stay hydrated. This is beyond me. This is beyond me. I am so upset about this whole situation. Excuse me. This is so upsetting that I can barely talk about it in a way that seems as though I'm not feeling some type of way. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 100% feeling all the types of ways. 100%. Because what this policy, what this legislation does is it says that they value a very small specific group of individuals over how much they value all the rest of our citizens. Now, for me, that's completely unacceptable. That is completely unacceptable. It's a problem. It's a very, very serious problem. You're going to tell me that you value illegal aliens by putting laws in to protect illegal aliens when you won't put laws in to protect me as a citizen from crime and criminals. They still ain't give me a check. Where's my check, y'all? Where's my check for my car? Okay? They broke in and stole my car. Then the police told me they don't even fingerprint for that. Okay? Then I'm told that if I were to put them down upside down in the ground, it would have been a problem. How? You're not protecting me. There ain't no laws. You're not putting any laws in place to protect me and my property. Okay? Like, what are we doing? Okay? You let these criminals out of jail on a daily basis? What are you doing? But you're going to put in protections for illegal aliens, which clearly violates our federal laws. Now, they said, well, this doesn't violate our federal, they didn't say violate. They said this doesn't go against our federal laws because we can't do anything about the federal laws. Okay, I hear you. But the fact of the situation is that, and this is crazy to me, because the president, Miguel Melendez, okay, and this is beyond me, because this is what he said. Like, I can't, I'm just regurgitating what he said, right? He said, we're doing this because it matters. It's important for our community to know where their elected leaders stand. It's important because we are upholding the Constitution of the United States. You're not. You're violating the Constitution of the United States and the New York State Constitution. And ensuring our local resources are not commandeered. It's important because families in our community are hurting and being torn apart. So let me be very clear. Those families are not citizens that he's talking about. Those are illegal aliens. And they all need to be deported. And I stand on that because they're sucking away resources for themselves that should be going to our citizens. Okay? We have a poverty rate that is above 33% in Rochester. Real numbers. Okay? And if you really were to adjust the numbers for inflation, we're probably looking at about a 50 to 60%, okay, poverty rate in Rochester. So don't tell me about some illegal aliens. They didn't come here to enrich the lives of Americans. They didn't come here to enrich the lives of our citizens. They came here to enrich themselves. And they didn't even do it legally. And that is a very serious problem. Stanley Martin says, I feel moved and I feel hopeful. And the biggest thing I feel, see, all of these I feel things, right? Whenever somebody says I feel, they're trying to manipulate you emotionally. You need to get that. Hear that with your ears, listen with your ears, and hear that with your mind. If somebody says I feel, they are emotionally manipulating you. You gotta wake up and understand. I want people to know that we as a city care about immigrants. No, you don't care about immigrants. You know why you don't care about immigrants? Because you're calling illegal aliens immigrants. You're disrespecting every legal immigrant that has come through and gone through the process of coming here legally. You're disrespecting every single refugee that has come here legally. You're disrespecting everybody, everything that they have worked to accomplish, to come to this country, and everything that they have gone through to get here legally. And you're going to call them immigrants, and you're going to say, oh, we care about you. You don't care about them. You don't. You care about illegal aliens. You don't care about legal immigrants. Like, you're tripping. And we care about the LGBT community, the communities that have historically been under attack. You playing in my face or what? You don't care about the LG or the B communities based on what you're saying here. What it says is, it says gender identity. Gender identity is very clearly a segment that is not those who identify as homosexual. So you're actually excluding homosexuals, and you're including everything else that's something that's far and apart. Okay? That is a gender identity, not actual homosexuals. So you don't even care about homosexuals. This is a very, 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 very concerning situation. And people need to understand, and you got to wake up and see what's being done. Please, you guys, donate to my campaign, whatever you can. Marcus and number 4Rochester.com. That's Marcus and number 4Rochester.com. You don't even got to be local to donate. Whether you can donate $25 or $500, whatever you can do, because I need to win this election. Because look at these crazy, insane people and what they're doing. They don't care about us at all. They're freaking out here being dictators. You understand what I'm saying? Passing unilateral laws that go completely against the rights of every single citizen, except a small, exclusive identity group. It's crazy to me. It's crazy that they would then go off and say, oh, this is what our city believes. No, that is not what our city believes. If you believe that, okay, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with you, very seriously. Our city does not believe that. What does our city mean? That's the next question that you need to ask them. If this is what our city believes, what exactly are you defining by our city? What does that mean? Because it can't mean the majority of the people. It can't mean the majority of the people, because the majority of the people don't believe in cutting off small children's genitalia. These people believe in cutting off small children's genitalia. Make it make sense to me, you guys. Make it make sense to me. Okay? Because it doesn't make any sense. Then they say, oh, well, we're also making sure that people can murder their babies. Excuse me? And then you wonder why people are out here killing people in the streets and stuff like that, because you have shown that you don't have any respect for the sanctity of life. That's what it is. And you're saying that that's what we believe in. We don't believe in the sanctity of life here. That's what you're saying in this legislation. Now, you'll say, well, Marcus, abortion is already codified in law. That's what I'm saying. It's already in state law. It's not going anywhere. Now they've affirmed it in the state constitution based on the amendment that they put in place last year. So that supersedes this law, which makes this law completely invalid. Completely invalid. That's the way laws work. Okay? That's exactly how laws work. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. This is so problematic, you guys. And I don't think I'm able to explain it the way that I would really want, as clear as possible here. What they're doing, very much so, is discriminating against everybody that does not fall into the gender identity group and that is not an illegal alien. It's giving illegal aliens more protection than citizens, right? The illegal aliens have already violated laws, and it says that you can't ask them about their immigration status or hold them or pick them up or any of that. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is what we're doing here. And again, I'm like, okay, so you're passing laws that are unconstitutional. I hear you. Where are the laws to protect the victims of crime in our city? If you want to pass unconstitutional laws, pass some laws to protect victims in our city. How about that? How about you pass laws about that? How about you pass some laws that are about preventing criminals from continually getting out of jail? Somebody that's assaulted people 3, 4, 5 times, get right back out of jail. How come you don't pass a law to hold them? What are we really, really doing here? And this is a very, very serious problem that nobody wants to talk about. And it's very upsetting. It's very, very upsetting, because nobody wants to talk about how city council has just completely lost the plot and they're out to lunch. This is so unacceptable on so many levels. So many levels. And I want to go back to this illegal alien part real quick. So it says, no city employee or contractor shall deny city services benefits. Benefits? You're giving benefits to illegal aliens now? Is that what you're saying? It's right here. Benefits to illegal aliens or opportunities to any person based on their immigration or citizenship status. Now, let me break that down for you. Okay? To get a job in the United States of America, you have to do an I-9 qualification, which prevents you from hiring people who are here illegally, right? So what this does is it says, later, for the federal laws that prevent you from hiring an illegal alien, we as the city will hire all the illegal aliens that we want. So make that make sense to me. Okay? That's what they're saying right here in this law. And that's a very serious problem. So then it goes on. It says the police department or any other city law enforcement shall not inquire about, detain, arrest, or investigate any person solely on the basis of suspected immigration violations or for the purpose of enforcing federal immigration laws. Okay, so why? Right? Because the president said, his name is Miguel, he said that what he wants to do is make it so that he frees up resources for the police. Okay, again, this goes back to my previous point. Where are the laws that you're putting in that are protecting the citizens from the criminals? You're not putting in any of these laws, but you're putting in protections for illegal aliens. Okay? You're putting in protections for illegal aliens. Now, what this also says to me is that if you have to write a law for it, that means there was no law against it before. Okay? So that means that based on this law, based on what he's saying here, is that previously it was okay for the police to help federal immigration people and stuff like that, and to detain people based on immigration. Well, the mayor said that that's not right, that the police shouldn't do that. So is it true or is it not true? These are the conversations that we need to be having. Drink water, stay hydrated. This is so upsetting. Okay? Let's go on to the next part again. City resources, including personnel, facilities, or funds, shall not be used to assist federal immigration authorities in enforcement activities except as specifically required by federal and state laws in cases involving judicial warrants or violent crimes. How do you determine when that is? How do you determine when that is? This is my question. Under what circumstances do you determine what that is, what that looks like? How long does that process take? What are the assurances there? You understand what I'm saying? If the federal government is saying that they are doing let's say, a immigration raid, right? And they need assistance because there may be violent criminals, right? Because they're known violent criminals, right? Let's say they've killed 34 people and they're from, I don't know, Serbia or something. No offense to Serbians, but, you know. Let's say, and they've killed 34 people, right? Okay? And let's say they're known to have weapons and stuff like that, you know. What does that say? Does that say that the police can't help them go after these people? Because they're not, where is the line, right? Like, where is the line? It's not clearly defined. This is another problem. And I talk about this all the time with legislation. Legislation needs to be clear, it needs to be concise, and it needs to be right out in front. Otherwise, it's useless. So essentially what they're saying is just you can't never help them at all. That is a serious problem. Let me go on to the next part. City employees shall not share information about immigration status with federal authorities unless mandated by law. What does that even mean? Right? So you mean that anybody that, under what circumstances? Is that while they're at work? Is that while they're off work? What does this actually mean? You understand what I'm saying? These protections aim to prevent commandeering of local resources and ensuring immigrants can report crimes. Excuse me? Immigrants can report crimes? They've already committed a crime. They're not immigrants. They're illegal aliens. Okay, stop disrespecting immigrants. Stop disrespecting immigrants. Stop disrespecting refugees. Stop disrespecting the people who came into this country in the right way and the right manner. And almost all of them that came in here in the right manner had to go through extreme hardships or financial stuff to get here. Can't we give them their dues? Can we have that conversation? No, nobody wants to have that conversation. But these are the important conversations. Very, very important. It's crazy. Now I want to get back into the alphabet section. And again, based on the reading of this alphabet section, it doesn't say that it's for homosexual people at all. Nothing in here says anything that jumps out to me that says anything about homosexuals. It just says the people that have different gender identities. Okay? Sexual orientation is not gender identity. That's very straight and clear cut. Okay? So it doesn't even protect the alphabet people like they say that it does. This is appalling. Okay, let's go into it. No city officer or no city employee, officer, or contractor shall deny services, benefits, opportunities based on a person's sexual orientation, or gender expression. Now, this part says sexual orientation, but wait for it, okay? Because it gets better, right? Specific safeguards, right? Because again, there's already a non-discriminatory factor that goes in from our state legislation, from our state constitution. So here, specific safeguards include prohibiting discrimination in city-sponsored sports and activities based on gender identity. Well, what does gender identity have to do with sexual orientation? Zero, zip, zilch. So there's nothing there for alphabet people. There's nothing there for, there's nothing there for the LG or the B. There's nothing there. You've done nothing for them. As a matter of fact, you've made sure to discriminate against them by putting this in play. I know a lot of lesbians that play sports that work very hard, because they think they rough and tough. Okay, I'm not mad at them. I like me a sporty female. Okay, I have no problems with that. Okay, I think most of these lesbians out here are really misguided to begin with, but that's a whole separate conversation, right? Like, they work and they train hard to be professional female athletes. That's what they do. That's their jam. Why are you taking this away from them? Especially female youth. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you would take away the ability for female youth that have trained and practiced so hard to exemplify their sport. You would steal that away from young girls and young boys. Okay, not that there are girls that identify as boys that are really trying to go out for boys' sports, but it's usually vice versa. Men trying to get into women's sports. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And they're like, well, if it's a city-sponsored sport, so your city-sponsored sport is okay with men playing in girls' leagues and boys playing in girls' leagues? That's what we're doing. Denying girls and young females they're just it's so terrible, right? Like, denying young girls their ability to express their talent against their peers. Okay? Because in sports that are gender divided sports, we're not talking about intramural, right? We're not talking about intramural sports. Okay? We're not talking about non-gender sports. We're talking about specifically gender sports. Because otherwise it wouldn't say gender identity is important to the whole fact. And again, this is part of the very large problem. Okay? They hate women's rights. They hate women's rights. I don't know why they hate women so much. I don't know why they hate little girls so much. They hate little girls so much that they want grown men to go in the bathroom with little girls. Because the grown men identify as a woman. Because again, like, it doesn't say that men that are female presenting. It says men who identify as women can go in the bathroom with little girls. That's not okay with me. It's not okay, not even a little bit. And anybody that says otherwise is a pervert. I said exactly what I said. Not only are you a pervert if you believe that men should be able to go in bathrooms with little girls, okay? Not only are you a pervert, okay? You are a very warped individual that's trying to brainwash others into believing that psychosis. And I'm not going to participate in your psychosis. And I pray that this thing did not pass 9-0, because I'm going to raise holy heaven if it did, because there are people on this board that call themselves Christian. Okay? There are people on, and that is the most upsetting situation out of all of this. And call yourself Christian and vote for this. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of these fake Christians, y'all. I'm absolutely tired of these fake Christians. We need a revival in our nation. We need to turn back to the teachings of Jesus Christ and to the Lord our Father in heaven above. Okay? That's why our nation has been blessed with so much fruits and relative security and safety in our nation compared to everybody else. That has been the best thing for us because we have been under the protection of the Lord our Father. But we need to turn back to him and turn back to the teachings of Jesus. Because, I mean, you're going to tell me that you believe that, and this is the next thing here, it says, ensuring access to reproductive health care, that's murdering babies, and gender-affirming care without bias. That means that you can cut off the genitalia of developing youth. I don't think that cutting off the genitalia of developing youth is okay. And that shouldn't be a sensational thing to say. Like, you think that you should be cutting off little boys' wedding tackle? You think that you should be cutting off little girls' mammaries and bosoms? Like, this is okay? You think that you should be giving them hormone injections that just completely alter their body's development for the rest of their life, that's completely irreversible? Like, that's what you're telling me our city believes in? There was no referendum for this. This is what they're unilaterally saying. And again, the problem with this has been heavily influenced by a few small nonprofits to make sure that it raises and elevates certain groups, small groups, above everybody else, specifically illegal aliens and alphabet people, but more so than anything, those who believe that they're of a different gender and have a serious psychosis, okay? They call it gender dysphoria, okay? But I honestly don't even think that most of these people have that. I believe that it's just complete psychosis because they want to force it on you. They want you to play in their la-la land, okay? And I'm not about to sit here and I'm not about to go and do that. That's what we're not doing. We're absolutely not doing that. And if you're tired of this nonsense and people going along with this, November 4th is coming up. That's going to be the election day here. Vote for me, Marcus C. Williams, because I'm going to stand up against all of this, because it's not only is it a perversion of our laws, it's a perversion of nature. That's straight like that. And again, like I said earlier, I don't care who you bang in your bedroom. That's up to you. You're going to have to reconcile with the Lord our Father with that. If you struggle with same-sex attraction, I understand. Everybody has their own proclivities. For some, it's harder than others. Maybe yours is drinking alcohol. Maybe somebody else's is pornography. Maybe you've got an issue with marijuana. You know, everybody has their own predispositions, you know. And maybe you've a predisposition to rage or greed or any of these very serious mortal sins. You understand what I'm saying? Many people have those issues, okay? But it's up to you to overcome those issues and to pray to the Lord our Father that he helps guide you through those and that you're able to deny the flesh. It's very hard. It's not easy to deny the flesh. That is a full fact no matter what your predispositions are, okay? Like that's a serious fact. Like I know for me, myself, sometimes I have an issue not saying certain things that when I should probably not say certain things. You understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes I can control the way in which I express myself better. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes that's a little bit of a struggle for me. Okay? That's my burden to bear. Okay? And I tell you, I bit my tongue so many times, okay, working with that, that my tongue is all bruised up, you know? Like but again, each of us have our own struggles, you know? Kind of like how they say, pick a struggle, you know, like, but you don't want those sins to hold you back. But again, I don't care what you do in your bedroom, but what's important is that when you're here being a legislator, that you're not elevating other people's rights over the rights of other individuals. Okay, that is discriminatory. That is problematic. Okay, you're elevating the rights of these people that have gender dysphoria or gender psychosis above the rights of men and women. Like, excuse me, how do you do that? How do you reconcile with that? That's not okay. That's not okay at all. It's completely unacceptable. Please share this video out on your various social medias or whatever. I stand by everything I said, bro. I don't even care at this point because it's gone too far. It's gone too far because they don't care about us, bro. Where is the legislation to say that we're going to hold criminals or that we care about victims to protect victims? Where are the legislations about that? We got a crime epidemic that's outrageous. Where are the laws to stop these criminals that are pushing these drugs on the children and trafficking these drugs into our city? Where are the laws on that? Where is the codifying policies on that? It's not. It's not here. It doesn't exist. It's. You understand what I'm saying? It's ethereal. It's in the ether somewhere, but it's not here. It's not in real life. What are we doing? What are we really, really doing here in Rochester, New York right now? What are we doing? These people very much so don't care about us and would prefer to discriminate for what they're saying. Oh, and I heard one of them say, oh, well, for protected classes. Well, wait a second. What's protected classes? Because I didn't see anything about race or ethnicity in here at all. I didn't see anything in here for black Americans. Okay, I didn't see anything in here about protecting black men. I didn't see anything in here about protecting Puerto Ricans. Where are the protections for the Puerto Ricans in this? Where are the protections for the black men in this? Where are the protections for all of us in this? I don't see any of it. Make it make sense to me. This is unconstitutional on the state level. It's unconstitutional on the federal level. And it's just flat out nonsense and not okay. And the kicker part of the whole situation is it says that anybody that violates this as a city employee or a contractor shall be deemed unlawful. So let me ask you, is it being deemed unlawful? Are they actually unlawful? Or are you just saying that they're unlawful? That's some very serious question. Like, I think that the word deemed needs to be defined there. Because you're already violating the federal constitution. You're violating the state constitution. Like, I think that word deemed, does that just mean you're going to say that's what they are, and not necessarily? Or does it mean that you're actually saying that what you have written here actually holds water and is actually a law affirmed into legislation? Because you said that this is what we are affirming as a legislative body. But you've got no legislation to protect citizens or to allow citizens to defend and protect themselves. Like, it's a sham. It's an absolute sham, and it's not okay. Because this doesn't represent any of us in our city. It's completely unacceptable. And I'm really hoping that it's not 9-1, you guys. I mean 9-0. Because if I find out that it's 9-0, I'm going to raise holy heaven. Because there are people on there that claim to be Christian, and this whole stuff is clearly against Scripture, okay? And I'm going to dig into the Scripture tonight, because I'll be on here for a whole nother hour talking about Scripture, because Scripture is very important to me. I love it. It's important. It's very close to my heart, because I am a Christian, and I will not renounce my faith for anything. I believe that Jesus died for our sins. He sacrificed himself for our sins and overcame death and was resurrected 3 days later. And he sacrificed himself so that we can have a path to everlasting eternal life with our Father in heaven. Okay? That's what I believe. I'm a Christian. Okay? And I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to recant my beliefs, because what they're doing not only goes against my beliefs, and it says that there are some protections in here for religious institutions and stuff like that. Again, we don't have the full text here. It's not on their website yet, so this is just going based on what they said and various notes in relation to it. So it's very, 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 very problematic. And it's, you guys, it's so serious. And then it says some other nonsense. And again, like I said, this isn't the full text of it or whatever the case is. It goes into refusing facility use for marriage ceremonies based on a couple's gender identities. Is that a thing? Is that happening? Who's doing that? Where has that ever happened? You understand what I'm saying? Where has that ever happened? Where is the threat of that happening? Stop playing in my face. Okay, like, that's crazy. Like, that's just dumb. Okay, but I am very concerned about the part where it says that restrooms or locker rooms of young girls can be allowed for men to go in there. So again, if you're a 270-pound, 6'7" man, you can go into a bathroom with a little 6-year-old prepubescent girl. with your wedding tackle all the way out, or in the locker room with a little girl. I don't think that that's okay. And when I say I don't think that that's okay, I know for 100% fact that that's not okay. And that's unacceptable. Okay? There's no regards in here for age. Okay? And that's just another note that I'd make. Okay? Like, I'm completely against it because you're talking about gender identity. That's not acceptable. But the fact that there is not even an age range in here makes it worse. Makes it worse. But can we have that conversation? This is what I got for you guys this evening, this morning. Okay, I got some stuff I got to do. I got a lot of stuff I got to prepare for today. I'll catch you guys later. Remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. And make sure you go to my website, share my videos and stuff on whatever platform you're watching right now. But go to my website, donate, volunteer, whatever you can. You don't have to be local to donate. I got to overcome these freaking tyrants that we have here and these socialists that are out here that are pushing this perversion on our city. So donate to my campaign, whether it's $25 or $500. That's Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com, and you don't even have to be local to do it. I'll catch you later.